On October 16, 2012, the National Post wrote, "We are in crisis. Our kids need help." Numerous articles have been written this past year regarding the mental health crisis, and I can't tell you how many times I've wept while reading them. The loss of precious life and all of the pain and suffering of our youth today. I continue to ask myself, could these tragedies have been prevented? Are we really doing our best for our children in this area? I made a promise to myself this new year that I'm going to find my voice and my courage and represent all those who could not find their own. My journey is dedicated to everyone who has suffered and somehow fallen through the cracks and been isolated and or stigmatized by society. Please join me as I step into the arena of transforming mental health, ready and willing to endorse real change. My vision and intention for 2013 is to integrate mental health and well-being directly into the educational system across the province of Ontario, Canada. As a mother, teacher, and author, I have spent so much of my life reading and learning, immersing myself in empowerment and self-help. For over 3 years now, I have delved deeper into issues of emotional health and well-being. The facts speak for themselves, and they are heart-wrenching. Canadian universities are currently facing a mental health crisis. High school guidance departments are in a state of overwhelm. Statistics Canada points out that 20% of youth suffer mental health issues. Bullying has achieved new status as a crisis. According to the Mental Health Commission of Canada's report this past May, up to 70% of mental health problems and illnesses begin in childhood or adolescence. 3 in 4 children and youth with mental health problems do not access services or treatments. 1 in 5 Canadians experience mental illness, costing the economy $50 billion. Canada spends about 7 cents out of every public health care dollar on mental health. It is very clear that so many adolescents today are living within their own mental prisons, big or small, and many are feeling helpless, powerless, and trapped. They are facing such challenging issues as bullying, anxiety, depression, peer pressure, anger, stress, low self-esteem, eating disorders, and many other addictions. And many of them are facing these issues alone. The National Post article entitled, "We are in crisis, our kids need help," looked at 5 young people who committed suicide after being bullied. They ranged in age from 13 to 17. And once again, we weep and we mourn. But what is our call to action? On October 19, days after Amanda Todd took her life, 5 countries held a minute of silence in her honor. Empathy, yes, but too little and far too late. Social media may very well be, quote, "a tool without any conscience," as was written by Rosie DiMano of the Toronto Star. But I believe that human beings have a conscience, one that can certainly be nurtured to grow and to develop. That is why I am proposing an addition to the core curriculum of all high schools. Wide-scale responses to this current crisis need to begin at the school level. Students need to be properly prepped in high schools. Academic success means nourishing the whole student, which includes emotional and social intelligence. This course is not meant to be a cure for mental illness, nor a replacement or substitute for any related treatment. What I am recommending is a course that will empower students and give them necessary tools for daily living. I'm asking for a course that will act as a forum, an arena for discussion, a way to look at thoughts, feelings, and emotions revolving around everyday real issues. In his book Flourish, Martin Seligman discusses positive education and how you can teach well-being to young people. I ask you to reflect upon the following questions that Dr. Seligman asked his readers. What do you want most for your children? If you are an adolescent, what do you want most for yourself? And finally, what are schools actually teaching? According to Dr. Seligman's research, most parents want happiness, confidence, fulfillment, balance, kindness, health, and meaning for their children. And most schools teach achievement, thinking skills, success, literacy, math, work, and discipline. There is almost no overlap between the two lists. Now I ask, do you want your children learning only how to succeed in the workplace? Or do you want them also learning how to succeed in life? Dr. Seligman believes that schools can successfully teach both without compromising either, both the skills of well-being and the skills of achievement. He calls this positive education. I believe in this concept wholeheartedly. In fact, it is exactly what I am proposing. Just think about it. You step out of high school and into life only partially prepared. You have more knowledge than wisdom and more facts than understanding. You may have high academic marks, yet few life skills. Emotional support in the educational system is scant. What I am strongly suggesting is a half or full year mandatory course devoted to discussions around real life issues. This course would integrate the latest research and evidence found in neuroscience and positive psychology, thereby offering students the most effective tools and strategies available. The essence of the course would be for students to develop empowerment and self-coaching skills. This course would provide students with a wide range of tools, including how to shift your thoughts and choose positivity, how to accept imperfection and feel worthy and good enough, how to develop empathy, sensitivity, and mindfulness, how to let go of labels and judgment, how to communicate compassionately. This list is only the beginning. And by making it mandatory, every high school student would be required to take the course. Therefore, no one would be stigmatized. All high schools teach core academic subjects. Most offer languages, arts, music, and physical education. Careers and civics have been added as 2 mandatory half-year courses. Isn't a course in emotional health and well-being at least as important as these courses already being offered? Another question I ask you to consider. We certainly would welcome and support effective anti-bullying legislation, but would that be enough, or better yet, should that be enough? What I am offering at this time is to build upon my already existing empowerment workshops and create an entire course that would be embedded into the core curriculum of all high schools. I have successfully completed pilot projects in both careers and English classes at the high school level. The students' feedback thus far has been extremely positive and demonstrates the need for an entire course. I'm appealing to each and every one of you to help with this most worthy cause. I have recently mailed powerful appeal packages to the Minister of Education, to district school boards, to high school principals and superintendents. I eagerly await a meeting with the Superintendent of Curriculum and the Central Coordinating Principal for high schools. I will do my part and follow up on all of these mailings in the new year. In the meantime, what you can do to help make a difference as well is contact your local school boards, high schools, principals, teachers, family, and friends, and speak to them about this very important and timely issue. I encourage you to join in this appeal with me. I have provided my email address in the text box below, as well as email addresses and/or links to some important contacts within the educational system. And what is my vested interest in all of this? I understand all too well what it feels like to be at the receiving end of feeling different, perhaps even isolated. I have been emotionally challenged in my own ways, having suffered through deep-seated fears, anxiety, and obsessive-compulsive disorder. I have grown and transformed over the years, but my journey continues, and it has not always been met with kindness. Together, let's stop mental malaise and create a global awakening. Let us pave the way towards educational reform. Our children are depending on us. Please tell me, how many more tragic bullying stories must be told before we learn the lesson?